G'day YouTubers, this is a video response for ich bin kind, ickly bin ke, ickly bin kind, Berliner, ickly bin kabami, Icklum. I am not a jelly donut. Okay. I like snakes. The whole purpose of this video is that my kitty wants to say hello to your kitty. Actually, no, she doesn't. She doesn't like being picked up. So that bit's a lie. My cat's a geriatric cat also, 16 years old. And this has nothing to do with the whole purpose of the video. Anyway, I watched those schizophrenia videos, which I'm now replying to. So that's the real subject matter. And my cat's eating from a garbage bin now. The video in question definitely deservingly would receive the Nervous Neurons Top A+ Stigma Busting Video Award! In all seriousness, the video was fantastic. I mean, you talked about what it is, what the symptoms are, what the treatments for it is, your personal experiences, what schizophrenia isn't. That's fantastic, and if you don't know about schizophrenia, you should watch that video. Except though, it would have been cool if you talked about the types, you know, like catatonic and paranoid and whatever. And anyway, but I've got a whole bunch of questions I want to ask, and I hope you don't find any of them rude or offensive or anything like that. If you do, sorry. My mum has paranoid schizophrenia, but you couldn't tell with her. She takes medication. And one of the first times in high school where I felt it great to be breaking the stigma of mental illness was during psychology class, where we learnt about mental illness. And anyway, reason being is that my mum has schizophrenia, though you wouldn't be able to tell, like on you I guess, because it takes some medication, antipsychotics, see? And also on the issue of forced psychiatry, my mum was forced to have an injection of some sort of antipsychotic, I'm not sure, because she wouldn't take any medication. She was too paranoid. She thought the doctor was trying to poison her, she told me. So that had to be done, and she was grateful for that. I can't really talk for everyone else that has been forced on some sort of treatment. That's not. But it's worked in one case here. It's not this. People don't do this to, you know, force people to buy medication so pharmacy companies can make money. But on the other hand, I don't like the fact that pharmacy companies are making money out of this. But anyway, that's not the point of this video. When I was younger, also, I used to ask my mum what it was like. I guess I was just fascinated that the organ, the brain, really had so much power over our worlds, because it is our world. I mean, something wrong in it has the power to change the way we view our world, the way we perceive things, the way we think. It interferes with our very logic. Now, I was always curious to ask about like her symptoms and what she thought and how she felt and things like that. And the main one she would have was thinking that the TV was talking about her, the radio was talking about her, the newspaper was writing about her. Didn't have to be like it was after her, I don't think. But Like, for example, pick up today's newspaper and it says, Dad bailed, and she might go, oh, that's my father! Accused baby killer free to attend funeral. Oh, my dad's gonna come to my funeral. Uh-oh, I fully think. And I'd sort of imagine what it would be like. And it's hard because I never could imagine what somebody else is thinking. And naturally, since it's thought to be genetic, both of my parents watch me like a hawk to see if I got one single symptom. Every little anxiety was, she's gonna get it, she's gonna get it. And I too became scared. I used to lay at night and stare at a spot on the ceiling and say, I'm gonna hallucinate something bad. Something so scary is gonna come up to me, and I'm gonna hallucinate, and then I'm gonna be thrown into a mental hospital for the rest of my life. The latter is kind of a bad assumption because, you know, my mum's fine. My thinking was I would never get better at it, and I'm going to lose my memory, and I'm going to turn into so that was our lack of knowledge on my part. Schizophrenia is not split personalities. You have to understand this. Has anybody heard the stupid t-shirt joke, or I don't know what the hell it is, something like, I'm schizophrenic and so am I. I never understood that. I was like, the WTF? Like, is that some joke about being paranoid, or about hallucinations, or delusions? I don't really get that joke. And then I thought, it's meant to be like split personalities, but it's schizophrenia. It just doesn't make sense. And then I figured it out. People think schizophrenia is split personalities. I really wonder where they pulled that from. I just don't understand. A good schizophrenia joke is, just because you have schizophrenia, it doesn't mean people aren't out to get you. Well, I don't know about a good joke, but at least it makes a joke about the right symptoms, for heaven's sakes. Kristen, some questions for you. Again, I hope they won't offend or anything like that. Number one, what kind of schizophrenia do you have? I'm gathering that it's paranoid from saying like the piece of thing on the floor is like a microphone or whatever. But I'm not sure. I don't really know about any of the others except paranoid, really, because that's what my mum's got. Also, number two, hallucinations. This one I really want to try a drug out just so I can see what it's like to hallucinate something up. I mean, how good's the quality, I guess? Like, more interested in a visual hallucination. I'm not sure if you've had any, by the way, because not everyone with schizophrenia has hallucinations. I know someone on YouTube did, but I don't know if it's you or Mel's Basket's case or someone. But say if you're hallucinating up an alien walking towards you, what would it look like? How realistic is it? And same with auditory ones. I always wonder, what does it hear like sound like? Because I call it voices in your head. Does it sound like it's in your head? Like, you know when you put headphones on and listen to music? Is that what it sounds like? Or does it sound like it's someone's telling you to do something? And if you're having the hallucinations, what makes you believe it? I'm guessing it's delusions, but move on to that question in a minute. But, you know, if someone says something to you in your head, like say, that person's from the FBI, why would you believe it? Like, couldn't you sort of say, oh, shut up, hallucination, shut up, they're not the FBI, fuck off. Or, like, say if it was a real person saying, oh, that person's from the FBI, you might be able to backhand one and go, fuck off. I'm sorry, I know that question sounds ignorant, because with brains sometimes logic doesn't apply, but I'm curious, And then number 3, delusions, I guess, is what gets me interesting, because it sort of seems to really affect the thought. Like, you actually believe something, and I can sort of relate to that with the anxiety, where I can be quite convinced that somebody doesn't like me, or someone's looking at me. I know they are. And also, I think I got this from one of Dr. Henley's videos. If you challenge a delusion, the patient will get very defensive about it, and they're going to protect that. I wonder why that is. Like, say you believe in God, for example, and then you believe the FBI is out to get you. You can challenge, oh, God doesn't exist, and you're like, oh, this is my reasons. And then if you say, like, the FBI is not out to get you, you're like, yes, they are, blah, blah, blah. Or, I'm not sure. Would you happen to know why? I'm really curious about these delusions, and I think it must be horrible mixing a delusion with a hallucination like that. Paranoia. Imagine how much stress and anxiety it must cause. I mean, sure, the beliefs and experiences may not be real, but the anxiety and emotion is definitely just as real, same as it would happen if the real FBI was out to get you, or whatever you're hallucinating about. I mean, something like that must be awful. Next, psychotic episodes. Is it ever possible to tell if you're having a psychotic episode? Like, if you're having one, could you calmly say, I'm now experiencing a psychotic episode? Because I've heard the saying a lot, if you think you're crazy, you're not. And I've used this one so many times, because I've had so many times where I thought that I'm so crazy, I must be out of my mind. I'm probably like hallucinating up this world. I'm like the Matrix. This is like the Matrix, but I'm hallucinating up the world. Crap. And then I think, but I think I'm crazy, then I'm not. But then I'm stuck. I'm like, oh shit. Then I just got myself out of not thinking I'm crazy. Therefore I am crazy. Hey, wait, I just thought I'm crazy. As you can see, it's a funny kind of loop. Sorry, I've gone on off topic again. Okay, what about if we tell the healthy non-schizophrenic population, do this experiment on them, right? You take them to a doctor who convinced them one of their belief or something like that was a delusion, and somehow come up with a diagnosis of schizophrenia for them. How would the person react? Would they sort of accept it and say, oh yeah? Or would they also get defensive? Or maybe they'd argue it and say, oh, but so-and-so also believes that, therefore it's not a delusional. Coming up with a logical explanation. And I guess to take out some confounding variables, somehow tell the patient that they don't need to go to a mental hospital, or they don't need treatment or anything. It'll resolve within a week, so there's no consequences of believing them. Reason being, I'm curious if this being defensive about not being crazy business of psychosis is a symptom of the actual psychosis, or is it just general thing for humans? They don't like to be told, oh, you're crazy, mate. Even though doctors will probably try to say, not like say nicely, like, oh, you have these false beliefs and whatever. Also, do you have any symptoms now, like, even though you're taking all the meds and stuff, but like any non-psychotic but schizophrenia symptoms that you get without medication? I've wondered that as well. And, you know, like with my mum, I can't say like what's like disease and what's personality. I don't want to be one of those people that point out everything that I don't like about her and say, yeah, that's because you got a disease. I don't think that's very nice. So I'm just curious to ask if there is anything. And I'm not sure if you had anything comorbid as well. So I can't remember if you said you had depression as well or something like that. Final question, the stigma question. and all the society thing that I'm interested in. Have you found people's reactions to them knowing, like if you've ever told someone you have schizophrenia, are they, whoa, you're like totally psycho, or they're like, oh my god, I thought like that was psycho people, but it's like not, oh my god, I learnt so much, this is so cool, or I don't know how people can react, or maybe, as most of them probably might be like, oh yeah, that's good to know, yeah, my grandfather has like dementia and blah blah blah, we can talk about brains, or I don't know. A good 25 years or so ago, I can't remember, Mum told me, well she didn't tell me then, she tells me now because I'm only 21, so I wasn't alive back then. But anyway, at that time she got fired from her work. I'm not sure what it was, I can't remember where it was, but they found out what medication she took and knew it was antipsychotics, and she got fired because people on that much medication, she took more, a bit large dose back then, they shouldn't be working. But my mum's current work is quite supportive, she's told a lot of them, but she's waited a few years to disclose because she didn't want the same thing happening to her. And by supportive, it's not like people all sort of have all comfy couches for her and a day off when she needs it or whatever. People have just plainly accepted it. She doesn't need any special treatments because she doesn't have many symptoms. Bit of anxiety, I guess, maybe, but it's hard to tell in my family. Everyone has a bit of anxiety. Well, that's it from me. Thanks for watching, and thanks for making such a good video, Kristen. I recommend everyone watching who's interested in learning about schizophrenia to watch a video, and it's very stigma busting, so if you have misconceptions about schizophrenia, go watch. But then again, I bet the people who do have misconceptions like that might not be wouldn't be watching this video in the first place, because they'd already be like, boring, I'm out of here. But then again, I'm just making unfair judgments towards people who make unfair judgments about schizophrenia, if that makes sense. Yeah. Well, good night, YouTubers, before I scratch my fucking nose off. So fucking itchy, and it's driving me fucking mad, and no one will fucking fix it. It's always itchy, and it's fucking itchy at work when it's a deli and I'm always scratching it, and it's disgusting if customers see because I'm scratching my nose and touching their food. It's fucking disgusting and I can't help it, and I'll fucking cut my own nose off if I have to. Fuck you. What? Oh, I'm done. Good night.